What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and why I believe NIO may actually drop tomorrow, but I'm still very bullish going into next week. I'm also going to talk about what's going on with the overall stock markets. We have some big updates coming out from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell and President Joe Biden. I'm also going to talk about the latest pieces of news affecting NIO, as NIO has just launched the first battery swap station in Europe. Let's go, guys. And they also have some big updates on their Twitter page that makes me very bullish for the future. Now, before I say anything about the future of NIO or what's going on with their share price or what they're putting on their Twitter, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, guys. This is all for educational purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you will not only qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each with up to $3,500, but you're also going to qualify for free real-time level 2 data for US stocks with $0 in trading commissions. So please check that out if you guys want. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO's looking pretty okay right now. It is a little bit in the red, down about 3.31%. It ended up dropping to $28.63, which is why I'm a little bit bearish going into tomorrow. And we do see this inverse head and shoulders that's forming. You guys can see it right over here. As you guys can see, it's like it starts right here, it goes up, then drops, goes up, and it's going to drop a little bit more. So we probably are going to drop a little bit more for the rest of the week, but I do see some very good moves coming into next week as we do have lots of earnings reports coming out. But before I go into more detail about NIO, let's look at what happened to the market, because today the entire market was in the red. NIO did next to nothing wrong. In fact, NIO had very bullish news that came out that should have caused the share price to go up, but it ended up going in the red because of the entire market. Now, NIO is not the only one that's down. Tesla's down 3.38%. That's even more than NIO. AMC is in the red, Apple's in the red, Amazon's in the red, and all these index funds are also in the red, including the SPY. The SPY is down 1.04%. The NASDAQ is down about 1.15%. So I want to talk about why the market's in the red, what's going on, as we do see a continuation of the bearish momentum that came from yesterday, as we do see the Fed tightening policy and making those other changes. We also had earnings reports coming out from JP Morgan that definitely could have affected it, and other banks as well, that were not as exciting as people would have anticipated them, as they're showing money slowing down, or at least trading. Now look at this right here. President Joe Biden has backed the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's likely monetary policy tightening as inflation rages. That means that Joe Biden is in support of Jerome Powell being a lot more hawkish. That in turn is definitely going to affect the market, especially him tightening policy. And Brainerd also said the same thing, as she too was appointed by Joe Biden. So that in turn, guys, is what caused the market, or at least played a role in the market being in the red. You guys can see right here, he had his conference, and it's very, very important that we look into the news like this. So right now, Reuters is reporting that U.S. central bankers are set sights on a March rate hike. This means that the federal funds rate is going to go up relatively soon, which in turn is going to hurt interest rates or cause them to go up as well. We're already seeing mortgages in the U.S. starting to go up because they're preparing for this hike. That in turn is probably going to lead us to a correction in the next upcoming months. But right now, guys, I'm not necessarily in believing that we're in a all-time bear market. That's what I'm trying to say. The SPY could still rebound, and I think it's going to rebound for next week as we have more earnings coming out, and I think tech stocks are really going to save the day. That's really what I think is going to happen next week. But for the short term, for I would say tomorrow, for the rest of the week, we could continue on this drop that we are in. So look at NIO right here, guys. NIO has this inverse head and shoulders, which is bullish going into next week, but bearish, very, very bearish for tomorrow and the day after. You guys can see right here, we had that drop in support at 27.52. We may end up testing that again by maybe I would say Thursday or Friday. But then going into next week, like I said, I'm bullish. But before I talk about that, let's just look at this from a different perspective. Let's look at the exponential moving averages. Let's look at the MACD, the RSI, and CCI. These are the main things I usually use. And you guys can see right here, if I zoom into what happened quite recently, as of right now, NIO is trading below every single one of the exponential moving averages. The MACD flip at the 9-day moving average, it's showing some bearish momentum. The RSI is dropping to an oversold state at 34.63. So even though it's been oversold for a while and it does have the probability of seeing an explosion, we're not necessarily there just yet because of the overall market driving it down and this inverse head and shoulder formation. So what I think is going to happen, guys, is tomorrow we're going to drop to the maybe 28, maybe a little lower, and we may end up testing the $27.52 level of support. I do think that's going to happen. We're probably going to close in the red for the next 2 days. And if that happens, guys, don't be worried, because I think next week is going to be huge as we have lots of earnings reports coming out. And I do think NIO is going to rebound from there and complete this inverse head and shoulder. So the way I see it, guys, is this is basically how we ended up dropping. We have the shoulder right here. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to see a very bullish reversal right after going into next week. So I am still very bullish for NIO, but you do have to remember something. NIO did nothing wrong to cause it to be in the red, nor did Tesla. In fact, NIO has done almost everything right. It's just the Fed, Joe Biden, other things like that played a bigger role in it being in the red the way it is. Now let's look at this right here. It was basically reported, let me close this right here. Basically, Benzinga reported that Tesla's about to begin the ET7 production in March. Guys, that's less than a month and a half away. We're getting super close to the ET7 production. I think that could be a very bullish catalyst for NIO, and that's why I think this is going to cause the share price to really, really rise. I think it could be very awesome, and I can't wait for what this also means for the future. The ET7 is very luxurious. It's going to be very popular in China, and that in turn is going to cause a lot of positive sentiment towards the stock and maybe incline a lot of investors to buy in. I also want to talk about this piece of news right here, as NIO has launched the first battery swap station ever in Europe. Let's go, guys. And it's particularly in Norway. That's going to be very awesome. 20 will be installed by the end of the year. Once again, very bullish news. They have a new battery swap station in Norway, guys. This should have caused NIO to run to the upside in terms of its share price. That did not play out because obviously the market is very weird, but you guys understand my point. NIO did nothing wrong. It's not NIO's fault. They've been doing everything right. They also talked about a software update for Norway alone. Once again, another very bullish piece of news. They're just absolutely killing it, guys. Its second generation power swap station is going to be introduced. It was introduced in April of 2021, and that's what they're basically launching in Europe. It's going to be very bullish going forward, guys. So please don't just sit on this. We have very bullish news. Now, I want to end this video by talking about this right here. NIO is once again reminding us of their ET5, which goes beyond the technological and aesthetic boundaries with its rich color palette, innovative materials, and sporty silhouettes. Once again, very, very bullish piece of news, guys. This is bullish because the ET5 is going to be an absolute monster when they start producing it later this year. I can't wait for how many sales it gets NIO. I can't wait for how the production numbers are going to increase. I can't wait for the effect this is going to have on institutional investors as NIO really, really goes out there and shows us how awesome it really is. So that's what I have for this one, guys. The long term, I'm very, very bullish. I'm super bullish for next week because I think earnings reports are going to improve the market. But for this week, we still have to complete what's already been forming. And I do think that there's a lot of bearish momentum going into this week. And NIO may continue to see some red for Thursday and Friday. So please be prepared for that, guys. Don't be scared. In my opinion, it's a very good dip buying opportunity. And with that said, guys, I'm very, very excited. So don't give up, guys. Don't sit on NIO. I'm still very bullish for its future, and I am not quitting. So that's what I have for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.